What's up, everybody? Jason with Adventure Ready Off-Grid on the on-grid property. Just going over this Harbor Freight CoverPro 10 by 20 foot portable car canopy, also known as the all-purpose canopy. You don't have to just put a car underneath there. Matter of fact, most people won't. But yeah, I just put this together yesterday for our little temporary garage, our shop we're making. Well, not temporary, it'll be here for probably a long time, but right now this is a temporary solution for a roof in between two 20-foot Conex boxes. So got a 20 foot on one side, 20 foot on the other side, and I have approximately 11 feet, give or take an inch between the two. And this is a 10 foot wide by 20 foot long. I'm going to say maybe 9 foot tall, 10 foot tall. I don't know if it says it on there or not. I never pay attention to that thing, but it's got good coverage or good height. Anyway, super easy to put together. Instructions are kind of, fail proof. Basically, build one section, bam, build the other section, bam, hook your poles in. There's 3 side poles. Let me get on the rain here for a second. 3 side poles on each side. I have some tie downs holding it down because I didn't finish putting the cleats in. Little thing that was weird, they have cleats in the bottom here. I say cleats, these little like plastic platforms basically. See this little plastic platform, and it doesn't screw into this unless it screws from the underside. I didn't pay attention, but it sits in that, and then you basically put pegs in here, but the pegs are gonna just hold this down, and this just sits in it, so it's kind of stupid. But anyway, I'm not really worried about this. It wasn't a long-term solution. We actually bought this for the off-grid property to be able to work on stuff in inclement weather. The amount of wind we got out there, I didn't think it would hold together very well, so we just never ended up erecting it. And we ended up just kind of toughing it out, throw tarps when it rained and take tarps away when it wasn't raining, and vice versa. So nice, has a little flap on here. The chair's getting wet. Got a little flap on here, so basically this is where the eyelets go and cinch, and you got this over flap that kind of hangs down past that, so you get a little rain runoff. I have seen people take these, and I'm not saying that this is designed for it, but and I may do this myself if I keep this anything long-term here, long-term meaning a couple months. I've seen people take corrugated metal and stack it, overlap it to the outside. The top one's overlapping, so you got rain flow, it doesn't go inside, but screw them into these poles, and then screw them into these poles and make themselves literally like a little miniature garage out of this thing. But it's not my plan for us right now. We're just going to use this, like I said, for temporary solution. Gives you a 10 by 20 foot chunk of real estate to stay out of the weather. So you can always hang fluorescent lights in here, which I'll probably do. I'm trying to get my Yeti power source going today for the shop, and then also run a cord, and like I said, put a couple of cheap $15 special fluorescent lights in here, and they'll light the whole place up like crazy. So if you want to work at nighttime, outdoors, the weather permits that. You can be out of the weather, but you can be in here in like a cool temperature and work in the evening with mosquitoes attacking you. So anyway, just thought I'd give a little tiny review. Like I said, it went together very simple. I'm surprised on these like cotter pins or anything like that. So when you get to these joints, like how things hook together right here, they just slide into each other. It does have a hole here, so I'm assuming people probably eventually, some people probably put you could probably screw a drill bit through here, and maybe put a cotter pin in here to where it doesn't all fall apart in a windy situation. Because right now, I got it cinched down, like I said, to the corner of the posts on the storage containers, and still got it, still moving around quite a bit. So that's quite a bit of movement right there. I only have it pinned down or cinched down at the corners, so I guess you could do a little bit more. These eyelets go to about 1 foot of the edge. Then it relies on a rope and a little cinch system here to kind of tie this part down. So, that works. I wouldn't say it's the best. And once again, like I said, when I was getting at earlier, almost every connection has a little circle punched out, a little drill hole punched out of it. You probably could drill through here and put little cotter pins in these things, and I guess it still wouldn't be any sturdier. It just wouldn't have a chance of coming apart. If you got this to move enough, that could lift off the ground. That could come out of its connecting piece right here, or it could come out of the connecting piece up here, and I can see that could be kind of a mess. So anyway, like I said, no real super detailed experience review because I just put this up yesterday. But as of right now, it's raining, and other than my chair getting wet because it's on the corner, they were pretty good. So canopy life, who knows? It's just a It's like maybe a 5 mil tarp or something like that. I don't know the exact thickness of this thing. I was doing it to kind of keep the heat and the sun off me in the daytime. I have a little outside workspace. Like I said, I have a couple of tables. I was putting my little auger together here yesterday on this. Like I said, I'm working on the goal 0, trying to reset this thing because it's just reading some weird readings on here and not charging properly. So messing with that. Drinking root beer too. I don't drink beer, so root beer is my beer of choice. But yeah, so just gives you some area outside of the sun and keeps you out of the elements. So if I modify this, I'll do another video. But like I said, I am considering maybe temporarily putting some leftover roofing sheet metal I have, like corrugated metal, go 1, 2, 3, leave that part open, but just have kind of a wind block right there. If you want to do this freestanding, you probably could, like I said, I think I've seen videos where people basically enclose this whole thing in all the way up to those edges right there, keep this canopy on top, but they close the sides in to make themselves kind of like a, imitation, of that. I don't know, I can't remember the company, but they make those companies that do the little metal sheds and things like that. So anyhow, I'll keep you guys posted if I do anything else special with this. Other than that, we got just the very basics. It's the CoverPro Harbor Freight 10x20 portable car canopy, also known as the all-purpose canopy. And like I said, I think these things are, I think I got this on sale for maybe $140 or $120, or it's real cheap. The gal at the register actually told me she's doing a little homestead property and said, hey, if you're looking for shade or a workspace, these things are a lot bigger than a 10x10 pop-up canopy.